So I've just ridden Kawasaki's 2015 Versys 1000. Now, if there's one thing that put people off the old Versys 1000, it was the looks. It was as bland as a suitcase. Thankfully, the new Versys 1000 looks much sharper, with more angles, a new pointy nose and twin side-by-side headlights. Now, the Versys does make a very competent tourer. It's really comfortable. The suspension is long travel, the seat's really comfy, and there's a new adjustable tall screen. But it seems a shame to categorise it as a long-legged tourer only. It's much more than that. For me, what defines this bike is the engine. It makes 120 horsepower, a couple more than the old Versys 1000. It's still not exactly highly tuned for a 1043cc 4. What you get is a really nice spread of grunt. It will pull from 3,000 RPM in fifth. In sixth, 70 miles per hour is just over 4,000 RPM, and it picks up really nicely without the need to change down. The old Versys 1000 was known as a bit of a closet wheelie monster, and the new one certainly is. In first, just wind open the throttle and the front lifts in a really nice gradual way that feels controllable. It's got Kawasaki traction control with 3 modes, giving different levels of intervention, and level 1 will let you wheelie. There's also an off option, and there are 2 power modes, low and full. It's not light, it's somehow gained 11 kilograms over the old model, making 250 kilograms, but it's not really a problem because it doesn't feel heavy. The seat isn't too high, at 840 millimeters. I'm 5'9", and it lets me put the balls of both feet on the ground. The handling is good. Despite the generous travel, the suspension is quite firm with good damping. The wide bars make it easier to change direction. In the city, those wide bars make it useful for weaving through traffic. It's obviously not going to squeeze through some of the gaps that a middleweight will get through. But the mirrors pass over those of most cars and are still large and far enough apart to give excellent rearward vision. The brakes are good, with plenty of power and feel, and ABS as standard. The digital display tells you your fuel consumption, range and the ambient temperature. Looking at that this morning and seeing the number -3, I couldn't help thinking heated grips might make more useful standard equipment than the ambient temperature gauge. I'd swap the new centre stand for heated grips as well any day. But apart from freezing fingers, I really enjoyed my few days with the Versys 1000. Prices, excluding on-the-road charges, are 9,747 for the base edition, which is the one I rode, 10,399 for the Tourer and 11,099 for the Grand Tourer. That's for a bike that's pretty good at everything. Long distance touring, rural road blast, town work, or if it's your thing, wheelies.